Now I'd like to invite my good friend and the Executive Vice President of Football Operations and General Manager of the Denver Broncos, John Elway. You guys heard of him? Yeah? I'd like John Elway to come up and share some words with you.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thanks for being here, bud.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to John and Linda for this tremendous event that they put on year in and year out. And for 17 years, what they've done with the foundation, is truly unbelievable. And especially when you look at the fact that it's continued well after John's career ended, for him to step up and continue to do that tells you a lot about Johnny Lynch. I will tell you this, as hard as his head was on the field, his heart is that soft off the field. And I think that we see in what he does here and what Linda also, and providing these scholarships for all these very deserving kids. I would like to congratulate all the winners and say congratulations and commend them for all their hard work, and your work has just begun. I know you've worked hard for all these for the scholarships, and the work's just begun. For those who applied and those who weren't, and I know John and Linda would have loved to give a scholarship to everybody that applied, I commend your efforts. And I commend those efforts because of the fact that you gave that effort to try to further yourself and try to be able to win that scholarship so you can make yourself better. That effort right there, in the long run, is going to make you better. I can tell you so many times you can't call it a failure, but I can tell you, we lost 3 Super Bowls. And I can remember we went into Pittsburgh, and we finally beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh, and we're going back to the Super Bowl in '97. I called my mom on the airplane. I called my mom. I said, "Mom, guess what? We get to go back to Super Bowl." And she said, "Do we really have to go back?" But that's an example. When I told her, and I said this, and I'm telling everybody that was not awarded a scholarship today is, you know what? Unless you step up to the plate, you're never going to know what you can do. You got to be able to step up to that plate and make the effort and give that effort. You are not going to reach every goal that you will have for the rest of your life. I have not come close to reaching all my goals. But I can say one thing that I have done is I've never quit, and I've never lost the idea that I want to be the best that I can be. And that's what keeps me going. And for all the winners and the people that weren't awarded, that's what's going to keep you going. So I commend all of you, and let's have a hand for all those that applied for the scholarships. And again, I go back, and I want to say one quick story, and it's kind of a funny story in the fact that Johnny and I both went to Stanford. He was there a little bit after I was there. But I'll never forget the first time we were playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers down in Tampa. And it was a preseason game. And John Lynch was the strong safety. And we had met before. We got down there, and we were pretty good friends. And I knew that Johnny was probably a little bit nervous, this being his first preseason game. And so we're in the first quarter, and Johnny's out there. And my arcades back in that time was Set Hut. And I was always famous for saying Red 98, Hut, Hut. Well, I saw Johnny Lynch out there, and I said, we go, Set Hut, Red 98. And I said, "Hey, Johnny Lynch."
True story.
Red 98. And all of a sudden he looked around, he was looking back, and so after we get done after the game, and I said, it's funny because Johnny's in there, and that time they brought him off the edge a couple times, and I'm sure that he was licking his chops, knowing that he was going to get a chance when he's coming off the corner. So I'd come to the line of scrimmage, and I'd look at John, because strong safety back in those days, strong safety, free safety is what we read in coverage. It's changed a little bit now, but strong safety, free safety were always our first key in coverage. And so I'd look at Johnny Lynch, and if he kept looking at me, I knew I was okay. I knew he wasn't coming. But it must have been the old head in the hole or something like that, to where if I looked at him and he looked away, I guess he figured if he didn't see me, I didn't see him. I knew he was coming. But told him that after the game, and obviously he took that to heart because we all know a tremendous, tremendous career. But it's an honor for me to be here. Look forward to answering some questions, Johnny, and really, as I said in the video, real excited about Gary Kubiak being our next head coach. He, as a guy that had a very successful run down there in Houston, and he had one tough year down there that had a lot of things go against him. And as I look at that, and as we were talking about the other day, sometimes things happen for the best. And, for the Broncos, the things have happened for the best because we got an opportunity to get a tremendous coach back in Gary Kubiak. What he does, not only as a coach, but as a teacher. He teaches guys how to play the game. He teaches them about life. And in his meetings, it's not, in the first 2 months that he's been here, it's not only talking about football, but it is talking about life. And he's a leader among men, and thrilled that Gary's back in town. And I know that things are going to turn out great. We're going to have a long run here and a lot of success with the Broncos. So with that, I'd like to introduce Gary Kubiak.
For everybody out there who's about my age, or mine and John's age, I'm used to coming up here when he exits. Y'all remember that. That's how I made my living for a while. It's great to be here today. Thanks for having me so much. Typical Patrick Smythe, who handles all of our public relations, said, Coach, when you get to a practice, I want you to go to a small luncheon today. Well, I walked in, and the luncheon's in the stadium. It's not small. This is extremely impressive. For all the young award winners today, but just to have an opportunity to be here. John, Linda, thanks for having me. Means a great deal. I want to say something about John. I know these two know each other very well, being Stanford grads. Of course, I'm an Aggie, so a little bit of a step down from there. But I've known John for a long, long time, and I've known John Lynch for quite a while also. But in our business, there's a lot of players, or great players, that come through the National Football League, and it's easy to talk about them, about what they've accomplished, and how they were as a player. And if you hear people talk about John Lynch, you'll hear people talk about how physical he was, how hard he played, how hard he will hit you. But I want everybody to know out there, the most important thing about John Lynch is he is a tremendous, tremendous person, John. And the job that he has done is second to none. All right, a couple other things. Walking in here, I really haven't been in here. I've been in here once in the last 10 years. When I was with Houston, we came in here and played, so it's been a while. But I can tell you this, it feels very familiar. I was very fortunate to be a part of 2 world championships with this organization. And I can tell everybody here, I came back for one reason. I want to be a part of another one, and I know you do too. So we're going to go to work on that. We got a lot of work to do, but John does a great job, and he's given me an opportunity as a coach and the people that we brought in here to go to work with these players and get that done. So I look forward to seeing all of you out here come the fall. Just a quick message to all our young people out there today. I'm sitting here listening to various things going on, and we have leaders in the classroom, leaders on the field, leaders in the community, and you should be so proud of yourself. But it makes me think about what I do each and every day. And part of my job as a coach, obviously, is to get our football team as good as it can possibly be. But as a coach, there's something you worry about all the time. And you do worry about leadership. I've been here now for almost 3 months, and I'm spending time with the players on the field each and every day right now. And I can tell you one of my biggest concerns is watching our football team saying, okay, who are the leaders going to be on this football team? But I can tell you this, you don't appoint leaders. You don't pick them out, okay? It happens. Leaders come forward on their own. But I have a saying with our football team. I tell all the guys, I say, I want you to be yourself because everybody else is taken. And I'll tell all you young people out there, you've got a great head start on being leaders and being yourself. So you continue that path. You continue that path that you're already on. You've got great supports with your family, the community, your teachers, your coaches, but be yourself. it will be good enough. It already has been, so continue to do that. But thanks for having me here today. I'm looking forward to answering some questions, and it's great to be back in Bronco country. Thank you.